everyone, welcome back to the channel, previews and vlogs. Alright, so today's video is going to be on the exhaust, on the CTS. So what we're going to actually be doing, I'm taking actually the car to work today. And the audio you guys just saw, or me turning the car on, that's the Magnaflow exhaust the car has on there. I've talked about that before in the past. And I decided to change it up a little bit. I like the way it sounds, and I don't know if you guys can actually hear it as I'm driving here. It's got a very smooth tone. It's you got a little bit of a tone on there. And the reason I didn't want it to be too loud is because this was my daily driver of course, it was going to be my daily driver. Well, ever since I got the Trailblazer, that's become my daily driver. This is gonna sit in the garage. Pretty much July. The rest of June and part of July, I'm going to be driving the car as much as I can, because after July, the car's going to sit in the garage pretty much almost all week while I'm at work and driving the Trailblazer. And I might drive it on the weekends, pull it out of here once in a while, but it's pretty much just going to sit there most of the time. Now, the reason I'm keeping it and not driving as much is I don't want to put that many miles. Every time, and I've talked about this before in the past videos, every time I get a car, I drive it to work and back, and I drive about 30 miles to work almost. And that's one way, so that's like about 60 miles two ways. So I put a lot of miles on my car. And I'm trying to keep them from getting that many miles, because then what happens is, in a period of 2 years, you know, and I buy them used with 30 or 40,000 miles, usually I have 60 to 70, maybe 80,000 miles on these cars, and then I want to get rid of them. So I'm trying to keep this one as long as possible, and try to keep it as low with miles as possible. Right now it's got about 53,800 miles on it. So, and it's had that for almost about 3 months. Honestly, but it's been in the 53,000 mile range for about 3 months because I haven't driven it as much. So anyways, what I'm going to be doing today is I'm taking out the Magnaflow exhaust. I'm not replacing it with any exhaust, I'm just doing an exhaust delete. We're gonna go straight. Now, I don't think this car has a resonator. I'm actually pretty sure it doesn't have a resonator. Downpipes, and that's pretty much open. It's an X pipe all the way to the back. The only thing, of course, keeping it the sound down is the exhaust. But since it's not going to be my daily driver, I will be basically kind of making it a little bit louder. Now, I've had all the people. And his Instagram is Chivo9_vsports. Just follow him up. He actually did the delete, and when I heard his car with the muffler delete, it sounded awesome. He's also the one that told me about the Magnaflow. And after he did the muffler delete, he posted up a few videos up on Instagram, and I mean, the car sounded really good. He even said it doesn't sound, you don't have that droning. It's still kind of quiet when you're driving it, but when you hit the gas in this thing, you can hear that exhaust. So that's what I'm going for. So that's what we're doing. I'm driving to work right now. Of course, when I get to work, probably by lunchtime, I'll take it into the muffler shop, have them cut off the Magnaflow exhaust. Now, if you guys are interested in my mufflers, both Magnaflow on there, go ahead and comment below, or on my Instagram, send me a message on Instagram, of course, and we'll talk about shipping and everything else and price at that point in time. If you guys want to get the mufflers, of course, I'll sell them for this kind of price. I think they were about $80 a piece. We'll talk about pricing at that point. If you guys want the mufflers on there. So, driving to work right now, and then I'll see you guys in a bit here once I get into the exhaust shop during my lunchtime. So, see you guys in a little bit. Okay, so before I go to work and I get to work, I'm gonna actually have you guys listen to the car before, how it sounds with the Magnaflow while it's in the cabin. I don't have, of course, a mic set up back there for the exhaust, so you can hear exactly the exhaust, but we'll listen to how it is in the cabin when we're cruising and when I accelerate. So let's go ahead and listen to the sound. This is gonna be just me cruising, not accelerating. I'm just behind another car here. So this is how it sounds inside the cabin. Hopefully you guys can hear it. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and accelerate. So that's a little bit of a sound with the Magnaflow exhaust. So you get a little bit more rumble while you're cruising. Of course, you hear a lot of road noise. Of course, nothing with the exhaust. You don't hear the droning noise of the exhaust. when you accelerate slightly, just kind of speed up and keep the speed going and keep it maintained at a certain speed. I mean, there's also no droning, no rumbling, nothing like that. It's actually pretty quiet with the Magnaflow. So I mean, Magnaflow does what I wanted it to do and keep the car quiet while I was driving. I didn't want the droning, but since again, it's not my daily driver anymore, I don't mind the droning at this point. So that's a little bit of a video with the Magnaflow exhaust while I'm cruising, and then of course when accelerating. So once again, I'll be back in a bit once I get it into the exhaust shop to get the Magnaflow exhaust taken off. Alright guys, so I'm back home now. It's actually the second day. It's not yesterday when I was recording this. It's actually the next day. So yesterday was Monday, today is Tuesday, of course. So yesterday I took the car in to the muffler shop while I was on my lunch. Dropped it off, they took a look at it. They couldn't do the work then, so I had to bring it back today to get the exhaust delete. So basically the muffler delete for the car. And they did all that today. Now I picked it up and I couldn't get a cold start because the car was already warm. Of course, they test drove it to make sure that everything was okay. There was no exhaust leaks and stuff. So the car was warm. When I started it up, you don't get the proper sound. Of course, I drove it over here for 45 minutes on the highway. Sounds awesome, but I want to get a cold start to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about between the Magnaflow and just having no exhaust on the car. So today, right now, it's actually kind of late. It's already about 9 o'clock or so, and it's kind of late and the car's still warmed up. It's still warm actually, so it's not gonna give me a proper cold start. So I'll do it in the morning tomorrow, which will be Wednesday. So the process alone, again, just takes maybe about an hour or so to get it all done, hour and a half tops. And all they're doing is cutting tubing, of course, the exhaust out. They're keeping, actually I'll just show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. The quad tips on there, which is the same quad tips I had on there. All they did, of course, was cut out the Magnaflow, the actual exhaust that was giving me that little bit of a nice growl, of course, that I wanted because I thought I was going to be doing this as a daily driver. This box, by the way, is going to be something else. That's another video on its own there, but we'll talk about that in another video. So here are the exhaust pipes, the Magnaflow exhaust pipes I bought from Amazon, and they are universal pipes, but they fit the CTS. Now, if anybody wants these, again, I will be selling them. So go ahead, either on the comments or on my Instagram, go ahead and send me a message there, and we'll talk about pricing and everything. I'm not gonna be selling it for crazy amount of money, so don't worry. They are used, they were cut here, and they were cut in here, of course, so there's gonna be some welding required more than likely. But all in all, they're still good if you guys want an exhaust that is not very loud. That's kind of toned down, let's put it that way. Gives you a nice growl, but it's toned down. But anyways, that's the exhaust. Same pipes that were on there before. Yeah, I know I still didn't get that reflector. But anyways, let's go underneath the car and see exactly what they did. Very simple install. So there's a hanger there. They used another piece of pipe to bend it, of course, in the way it's supposed to be bent, to make it come out right to here, to where the tips are. And they welded it right there and right here. And they used, of course, this is pretty much from the actual Magnaflow still right here and right over there. That's why you have those other welds. So they just basically cut the Magnaflow exhaust at a certain point and just did some welds there. Simple job. Of course, I don't have a welder. If not, I would have done it at home. And of course, like I said, they put the hangers right in here. Right there, you can see where the hanger's at right there. So the exhaust sounds a lot better. And of course, at times you also get that D-cell pop, which is awesome, which I've always liked. Now I've called Trifecta to see if they could actually tune in to get that, you know, that D-cell pop going a little bit more. They said, unfortunately, they cannot. So I'm cool with it. But anyways, when I accelerated this thing and when I got off of work today, it just sounds amazing. And again, you get that D-cell pop on there once in a while. And again, I didn't film it when I got out of work for the simple fact that it was still warm. And I want to get a cold start to show you guys the actual difference between how it sounds when it cold starts. And then I'll drive with you guys, of course, and you guys can hear the inside the car how it sounds. So the cold start will be tomorrow, which will pretty much be in a few seconds for you guys. And then we'll drive it, and then you guys can see how it sounds, and then you guys can make your decisions and let me know what you think. So in about a second here, we'll be into Wednesday, which will be tomorrow, just like that. All right, and just like that, it is Wednesday morning, and now we get, and even I get, the first cold start with a muffler delete. So let's go ahead. I gotta get to work, so I'm running a little bit late here. So let's go ahead and get this thing started and see how it sounds without any mufflers. Wow, okay, so that sounded awesome. Very loud. As soon as the first initial start goes on, that thing just made a nice loud growl, pretty much comparable to a V8. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, but that sounds great. And right now I'm driving it, and I'm in a residential street, so I can't go very fast. Let me know what you guys hear of the sound right now and how you guys like it, if you can hear it. In about a second here, we'll be on the highway, and then you guys can let me know exactly what you hear once I go ahead and accelerate this, and then I'll do a drive-by, of course. I'll have the camera outside and drive by and see what it sounds like from the outside. But the first initial cold start, no mufflers, sounds awesome. Love the way it sounds. I know it probably scares the baby upstairs and everybody else that's sleeping. Probably woke the whole house up at this point. But give me a second, we'll get on the highway, and then we'll go ahead and hear how it sounds like in the highway under high acceleration. All right, on the highway right now, I got the car on cruise control pretty much right now at about 70 miles per hour, and this is what you get out of it. So not much of a noise, not much of a droning. You got more of the road noise of anything, of course, other than any type of droning. It's a very, very slight. You can hear the droning, not much. Now, of course, if you accelerate, you get more. Now, if you really want to hit the gas on this thing, listen how this thing sounds. That's awesome. I love the way that sounds. I mean, that is not too loud, but still gives you enough of that exhaust noise you want to hear from a car. Now again, at some point you can hear the D-cell pops. You probably can't hear it in the car here, but it's awesome. I just love the way it sounds. And again, all this saves you a lot of money. So if you want to forget about doing custom exhaust or Magnaflow or Forza exhaust or whatever else. This is a lot cheaper. You get this exhaust, and this is not, again, this is only from the axle back, where you just got to delete the mufflers. Just deleting the mufflers will get you this kind of sound. Again, I wish I would have known this prior to spending about $160 on those two mufflers. But if you want to get this kind of sound out of it, all you gotta do is cut the mufflers, weld some piping on there, and if you're a welder in it, or if you have a weld machine, I don't at home. If not, I would have done this myself. I don't know how to weld either, so of course I need a weld machine and know how to weld. But you're probably looking at about taking it to a shop. It cost me about $100 to get it done. That's what they charge me now. The shop I took it to works with the dealer I work with. I'm a service advisor at a dealer, so they work with that dealer, so that's why I got some sort of a discount. I believe it was. Wasn't that bad. When he quoted me $100, I said, go ahead and get it done. It's $100. That's about, what, one of the mufflers from Magnaflow cost me $80. So another, if I would have known this, I would have paid $100, save myself $60 on an exhaust, which I wish, again, I'm kicking myself now because I wish I would have known this is the sound you got out of this car. So I'm going to leave you guys with some sounds. I'm going to give you a comparison, of course, with the cold start from when the car had the Magnaflows and without the Magnaflows, no mufflers on it whatsoever. Again, nothing else has been done to this exhaust at all. There's no downpipes on this car or anything. Nothing else has been done to this car. So this is just straight, pretty much almost like a straight pipe, other than of course the cats. But even if I was to put downpipes on this thing, then I believe I've heard some people say you get more of a droning noise, and it does no performance enhancements to the car, honestly. The way these downpipes are in this car, they're pretty wide, so there's nothing like you need to do an actual downpipe on these cars, honestly. Don't even waste the money on it, I say. Simple exhaust, less than $100 or maybe $100, maybe a little bit more depending on where you're at in the area you're at and the shop you take it to, will get you this kind of sound from it. So I'm gonna leave you guys again with some sounds here. I hope you guys like this video. If you guys are visiting for the first time, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. It helps me out a lot. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.